To Gentle Yoga. My name is Kat, and this is a new sequence, so I'd love your feedback. If it's too slow or if you're missing anything, please let me know. We're gonna begin in child's pose. So come to the back of your mat, your big toes to touch, spread your knees out nice and wide, and melt your upper body down to the ground, reaching your arms in front of you. Take a few moments to ground yourself into your practice now. Taking deep, intentional breaths, sealing your lips on the inhale and the exhale. Sink your hips a little lower, closer to your heels. Reach further, 1 more inch with your arms to get a little bit of an upper back stretch. Slowly crawl your fingers to the right top corner of your mat to get an oblique stretch and hold it there. Notice the gentle sensations on your shoulders, maybe your left side body. Crawl them back to center and then to the left. Feel this in your shoulders. Maybe this side feels a little different than the other, and that's okay. Crawl them back to center. Keeping your elbows on the mat, bring your hands in a prayer position behind your upper neck, your lower head. And slowly bring your arms down so you get a beautiful tricep stretch as well. In these first few minutes of class, I invite you to calm your mind. If a thought comes, just observe it and let it go. If you're carrying any judgments for this class, any expectations for your body, for your mind, let those go here too. Beautiful. Bring your hands down to the mat and come to have a seat on your feet. Beautiful. Drop your chin to your chest and just tilt it slightly to the left and slightly to the right. So your chin is staying on your chest. You're just rocking nice and gentle, letting go of your upper body. Once that begins to feel good, maybe you take bigger head rolls with your neck, slowly going either clockwise or counterclockwise, staying in any place that feels extra yummy. Sorry, Kelly. Today, if you went one way, go the other. Beginning with the neck, a little bit shoulder work. And find a neutral neck. Bring your arms up or your shoulders up to your ears and shrug them back. Take big shoulder shrugs, bringing it up to your ears and behind your back here, opening up just a little into your upper body. Take them the other way, round forward if you were going back. Big breaths here. And find a neutral shoulder here, preparing for some seated cat-cow. Inhale, look up, stick your butt out. Get this amazing ab stretch. Shoulders down your back. Exhale, round forward, chin to chest, puff up through your back. Inhale, up, look up. This is cow. Exhale, round for cat. This just opens up into our core, into our back. Take a few of these on your own time. Nice. Again, welcome to stay in any position that feels really good for you. Go to any pace that feels really good for you. And then find a neutral spine. Inhale up to mountain, reach up with your arms. Exhale, find a grip with your hands and push up your palms up towards the sky and hold it here. Maybe you lean back a little bit with your shoulders. Maybe you create a little bit of a cat or a cow curve with your spine. Breathing deeply. Can you go a little further? Move your elbows back even more. Allow a little bend into your elbows here, prevent any locking in your arms. My shoulders are already heating up here. Beautiful. Preparing for a tricep stretch on the right. Let go of the finger grip. Grab your right elbow with your left hand and just gently pull back. The blood is rushing to my fingers. It's okay. Everything here should feel comfortable, not super intense. So stop if something feels a little too intense. Pull a little deeper, see if you can, and then switch it out. Right hand comes to left elbow. Maybe you're still in this kind of cow back bend. Or maybe you take a more neutral spine. Pull one more inch. Beautiful. Shake out our hands. Shake them out. Ooh, we're gonna do one more arm stretch, and I promise we're gonna get off our arms for a little bit. Cow facing pose. So bring your right arm above your head and then down your back. With your left arm, reach behind your back and either grab for that other hand, or if you have a strap, this is a great thing for a strap, or just hold on to your shirt, whatever feels good for you today, whatever's accessible. But this is an even deeper tricep stretch. Feeling a little bit of in my shoulders, even chest opener. Can you pull a little closer? And then swap it out. Left arm goes up and down your back. Right hand comes back and around. This side's a little harder for me. If you can't make connection, that's totally okay. Just make sure you're feeling this pressure in your left tricep. This is called cow facing pose. A funky name for a pose, but it is what it is. One more inch here. One more breath. Beautiful. Release your hands down to the mat. Maybe shake them out again. Twisting to the right side. Bring your right arm behind you. Use your left hand to push away from your right thigh. Maybe you gaze behind your right shoulder. Make sure your shoulders are stacked above your hips. You don't want to lean back into that right arm, but just use it as a tripod stand to really engage your core. Twist a little deeper. Yes, you can. Bring that shoulder back a little more. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center and maybe swing all the way around to the left, using your right arm to twist, this time to the left side. Look behind you. Are you dumping any weight into your left arm? If so, sit up a little taller. Engage a little more of those back muscles. One more breath. Beautiful. Option here. So I've been sitting on my toes. Option here, I don't even know if you can see my toes, to curl your toes under and sit down on them that way. This feels maybe very easy at the beginning. I promise you it won't be easy for long, but this is a really awesome toe stretch. I've never stretched my toes in my life, but this feels really fun. I'm gonna stay this way so you can see what my toes look like. From here, we're gonna take some side bends. Inhale your arms up to mountain. Exhale, drop your right arm down, reach across with the left. Feel this really intense left side oblique stretch. Reach up rather than right first. So up, then right. It's not about how deep of a bend you can get, but how much of a sensation you can feel in your left side body. At any point, if this curled toed thing gets a little too much, you can always come back down off of your toes. Keep that shoulder back, elbow in line with ear. Inhale, back up to mountain, reset. Exhale, drop the left arm this time and reach across with the right. Again, reach up rather than out first. Breathe deeply. You should feel this all the way from your lower oblique up to your shoulder, all the way through your fingers. Reach, reach, reach. Feel like someone's pulling you up. I'm gonna come off my toes because that is enough for my toes for one day. One more breath. And then come back down to center. Crisscross applesauce your feet to give your knees a little bit of a break. And close your eyes here. Preparing for some of that three-part breathing we practiced last class. For those of us who are new, we spend 3 seconds on an inhale in our lower belly, and then 3 seconds in our middle chest, or sorry, our middle ribs, and then 3 seconds in our upper chest. This allows us to really deeply breathe and kind of slow down our mind and our heart a little altogether. Then we hold at the top and bottom at each breath for 3 seconds. So exhale any stale air you have, sit up nice and tall, shoulders over hips. I can hear my cat meowing. Um, let's start with an inhale. Inhale 3 seconds in your lower belly. 3, 2, 1. Middle ribs. 3, 2, 1. Upper chest. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale from the chest. 3, 2, 1. Middle ribs. 3, 2, 1. Lower belly. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. It's hard. 3, 2, 1. Inhale from the lower belly. 3, 2, 1. Middle ribs. 3, 2, 1. Upper chest. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale from the chest. 3, 2, 1. Ribs. 3, 2, 1. Lower belly. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom for 3, 2, 1. One last round. Here we go. Inhale from the lower belly for 3, 2, 1. Middle. 3, 2, 1. Upper chest. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale from the chest. 3, 2, 1. Middle ribs. 3, 2, 1. Lower belly. 3, 2, 1. And blink your eyes open. Reacquaint yourself with the room. Whenever I do breathing, I always come away with it with a little more of a light gaze, a calm mind. So I hope you feel that too. Great. Let's move on with class. Meet me in downward facing dog, however you want to get there. We are warmed up now. The correct way to get into down dog, the correct length is from high plank. So a lot of instructors call down dog from tabletop. I don't feel like that's exactly right. So I like to come into high plank. My spine is extended, my legs are straight, and then push down into downward facing dog. This is probably the first down dog of the day, maybe of the week, definitely of the class. So take a few seconds here to really get into it. I like to take my dog out for a walk, bring one heel up, one heel low. Try bending your knees a ton so you can bring your chest almost to touch your thighs. And then try straightening them and see how far forward your chest can go. I like to take little rotations of bending and straightening my knees. See how my hamstrings are feeling this morning. Every pose in yoga can be made mobile or made static. So have fun with it. I like to do a little mobility at first just to find little creaks and crannies that my body needs, and then find stillness when you get a chance. In downward facing dog, you want a slight bend in your elbow. Avoid locking anything in your elbows. A slight bend in your knee. My heels aren't touching the ground. That's okay. We're going to get a little more flexible soon. From here, keeping your hands where they are, slowly walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Bring them to where your hands were, so hips distance apart. Take a generous bend in your knees, ragdoll pose. Release your upper body over your lower body. Release any tension you're storing in your neck. Whatever you want to do with your hands here is awesome. I like to take opposite elbow grip. Some people like to just keep their hands kind of swaying on the mat. Just deep breathing here. It's a pretty intense stretch. So acknowledge where in your body is storing any stress. Oftentimes for me, that's my face. So release any facial muscles that might be holding some tension. Definitely my neck, even my upper body. If you took an opposite elbow grip, release it and take the opposite one, so different hand on top. And if you were swaying, maybe find stillness. See how that feels. Maybe close your eyes here. Always returning back to our breath. Find a basket grip with your hands behind your lower head and slowly tug your neck closer to your knees. This adds a beautiful upper back stretch for me. If it's too intense, feel free to ditch it. Nothing in this class should feel too intense, but it feels really relieving for me as well. 2 more breaths here. Maybe begin to straighten your legs a little more now that you're a little more open in your hamstrings. Relax your arms down to the mat. Inhale, slowly rise to stand one vertebrae at a time. Your head rises last. Inhale all the way up to mountain pose. So your arms come above your head, shoulders down your back, round your triceps in so pinkies are facing one another. Lift your thighs off of your knees. Feel really strong, tall, and proud here. Beautiful. Hold it for a few more breaths. Can you reach up even more? What part of your body isn't activated and how can you activate it? Clench your glutes, your core. Maybe look up a little bit with your chin. And slowly take a light back bend here, pushing your hips forward, chest up towards the sky, maybe looking towards your ceiling. And from here, we're gonna dive down to forward fold, bringing our hands through heart center all the way down to where we were before in this ragdoll forward fold position. We're gonna take a few of these rotations from forward fold to mountain to back bend all over again. So slowly inhale, rise one vertebrae at a time. Bring your arms up. Maybe your hands in the back bend meet at the back of the back bend. And then exhale, forward fold. Release it all down. Inhale, slowly rise up to mountain. Get nice and tall. Welcome in the morning. Hands touch the back of the back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Send it all down. Inhale, slowly rise, 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 reach, 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 bend, 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 hands to touch, exhale, forward fold. Take a few of these at your own time. So although this is gentle yoga, we do add a vinyasa part to the practice, meaning every single movement is matched by an intentional breath. If you've taken my classes before, you know on big inhales, that means we're usually looking up, getting nice and tall. And on exhales, that means we're folding forward, getting nice and small. Just a few more rounds here. Whew, this feels really good. On the back bend, make sure to clench your glutes. On the forward fold, make sure to release your neck muscles. I'm gonna take one more here. And when you're ready, meet me in mountain pose. Mountain pose, neutral. From here, I'm gonna scoot down so you can see what I'm doing. Grab the opposite elbow like we did in the forward fold and slowly bend to the right. This adds a fun shoulder stretch into it. Feels a little different than some of the bends we were doing before. Nice. And slowly come back to center and then to the left. Push your left or your hips to the right to get an added stretch here. And come back to center, go to the right one more time. Nice, and then to the left. Beautiful. Inhale back up to mountain, bring your arms up nice and tall. Exhale, grab your right hand, grab your left wrist, and this time bend, you pulling your left wrist to the right side. Hold this one for a few seconds. See how it feels a little different. It's activating a few different parts of your left side body than we did before. One more breath. Inhale up to center. Exhale, grab the right wrist with the left hand, and this time move to the left. Last bend. Can you get a little deeper? You're a little more open now. Inhale back up to mountain. Exhale, sink down into chair pose. What does that look like? Bending into your knees quite generously. Make sure you can see your toes from behind your knees. This can be either a wide stance or a short one, so really whatever feels good for you. Engage your core. So you want to avoid the duck butt. This isn't about how good your butt can look with a back bend, but rather creating a flat spine here. That protects your lower back a lot. Sit a little deeper if you can. The wider stance is a little less intense, so take whatever feels good for you today. From here, we're going to take eagle arms. We're going to wrap our right arm below, underneath our right, option to our left, option to take a bear hug here. If you have big, bulky shoulders, this might be the best option. If you're a little more nimble here, you can take the whole eagle pose. Nice. So here my elbows are in line with my shoulders. I'm sitting down nice and low, creating a flat spine. Feel this beautiful arm stretch. Sink 1 inch deeper. And then release the hands. Try the opposite side. The left arm goes under right. Find the hand grip, keeping elbows in line with shoulders. Breathe. If your chair is cooking, your thighs are cooking, always come up to straight mountain pose. You still get the same kind of shoulder stretch here. I'm going to stay in chair. I'm looking for a little more of a challenge in my thighs here. And then relax your arms down, maybe shake them out. Then find a basket grip behind your lower back, puff up your chest, and move your arms away from your back. You should feel this in your chest for sure, shoulders. And then in one big swift motion, we're coming to forward fold, keeping your arms exactly where they are. So I'm slowly diving back down, taking a generous bend in my knees. My toes were touching before, now they're about hips distance apart. And feel this forward fold, but with the added shoulder stretch. One more breath here. And slowly bring your arms back down to the mat. Plant your hands down, step back into high plank, and slowly lower yourself to the mat. Bring your feet, your legs to touch the left and right edges of your mat. So your legs are nice and wide. Bring your hands to where your ribs are and puff up your chest into seal pose. So this is an amazing beginner back bend for the class. We're gonna hold it for a few seconds. I'm gonna bring my hands a little closer so I can get a little taller. I feel this in my hips. I feel this in my back. This is a really rejuvenating pose. Thomas was the one that recommended it to me. Clench your glutes here. Then they have these big back bends. You really want to engage your glutes. Otherwise, we dump a lot of bad energy into our lower back. So protect your lower back by always engaging your glutes here. You push up a few inches taller from your palms, the heels of your hand. 1 more inch. 2 more breaths. Nice. Slowly, like a wave, lower your lower belly, middle belly, upper chest, and head, neck, and shoulders down. Planting your hands either a little higher than what they were or whatever you need to get into plank. Then push yourself up into plank and then push yourself down into downward facing dog. Take a minute to re-pedal into your body. Ooh, second down dog of class should feel a little more open this time. Nice. Bring your toes together at the center of your mat to touch. Inhale your right leg high into three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot forward in between your hands. Uncurl your left toes, bring your left knee down. Inhale up to kneeling crescent lunge here. 90-degree bend in your front leg. If this is too much on your back knee, option to flip over your mat or grab a blanket or something to add a little cushion to it. Wherever you are, feel this in your left side hip, engaging your core to sit up nice and tall from the hips up. Beautiful. You want to slowly bring your thigh, your right thigh, into your core, keeping your core nice and strong. Avoid dumping into the right leg. The whole body is active here. If you're not getting a lot out of the stance, take a longer stance. Maybe bring your feet a little closer or to the top of the mat. 1 more breath. And from here, we're spilling into half splits. So begin to straighten the right leg. The right toes will come off the mat into flexed position. And bring your hands down to the mat or blocks or whatever prop you have here to make this accessible to you. Again, you want to keep a flat spine here. This isn't about folding forward over your right leg, but rather keeping a really engaged core while also getting a right side hamstring stretch. Beautiful, guys. You guys look so good. We're going to take a few rotations in between kneeling crescent and half splits. So slowly bend back into the right knee. Reach up, swing your arms up, welcome the morning. Inhale to the kneeling crescent, maybe take a big back bend. Exhale, round forward into the half splits. Inhale back up to kneeling crescent. Take a little back bend, look up. Exhale, forward fold over your right leg. Take a few of these on your own time. Again, if this is too much on your knee, maybe just stick to one of them that feels a little better to you today. So if your hamstrings need a little more love, stay in the half splits. If your hips need a little more love, stay in the kneeling crescent. But I wanted to add a little mobility into this class, just because we need to heat up a little bit to make sure that we can get into each stretch. Just a few more rounds here. So remember, we inhale as we go up into kneeling crescent and exhale as we round forward into half splits. One more time. Meet me in kneeling crescent whenever you're ready. And then slowly drop your right arm down to the ground and reach to the left side wall or the right side wall with your left hand. So we're kneeling crescent and taking a side bend at the same time. This feels really, really good at my left hip. Nice. One more inch. Inhale up to inhale up to kneeling crescent. And exhale, drop your left hand down to the mat. Right arm stays high for simple twist, opening up to the right side wall. Keep moving that right shoulder back behind you. If this feels really comfortable for you and you would like an added challenge, begin to kick into that left leg and reach back and grab the left foot with your right hand. For those of us who are still working on our simple twist, just stay here and enjoy this awesome spinal reset. But if you're looking for an additional left thigh stretch, grab the foot, see how that feels. If you have a strap, that's a beautiful option. Make sure your right knee is still tracked over your right ankle. You don't want it to splay out to the right too much. Nice. Sink a little deeper here. Twist a little more to the right side. Work that right shoulder back. If you took the hand to foot grip, slowly bring the left foot back down to the mat and meet us in a neutral twist. And then plant your right hand down to the mat so it's on the inside of your right toes. Toe heel your right toes to the top right corner of your mat. And now we're in lizard's pose. Again, there's so many different options to the lizard's pose that feel really good. If you're a little more flexible, you can come down onto your elbows, maybe rest your head on your hands. If you're still working on lizard, come up onto your palms, stay nice, tall, and proud. I always say this, if your wrists begin to hurt, you can always come onto your fists. That takes a lot of weight out of your wrists. But play around here, maybe move left and right, see how your body is doing today. This is a really intense hip opener, so be patient with yourself. A few more breaths here. I wish we could stay here forever. I love lizard's pose. And then slowly toe heel your foot back to the center of your mat so you can frame your arms around your leg. Uncurl or curl your toes under, and we're going to come straight up off of that left knee into crescent lunge. So this is basically the non-kneeling version of the pose we just did. Same things go here, 90-degree bend in your right leg. Push that left hip forward, engage your core, bring that right thigh towards you, activate it off of your knee. Sit a little lower. Again, if any of these poses are a little too intense, just take the knee. It's a really beautiful option. If you want even more, begin to straighten the back leg. So you're pushing, you want to take a really wide stance if you want the full version of this. So you're pushing your left toes forward or your heel forward. And so the whole back leg is straight and fired up. The other alternative is to take a bend. Both of these are really challenging. We're going to move on here. My thighs are already cooking. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Tee out your arms. Plant your left foot down on the mat so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat and look forward. Again, 90-degree bend still in the right leg. Sit up nice and tall. You want to avoid leaning forward. Make sure your shoulders are still stacked over your hips. Beautiful, guys. You look super strong here. Take a full breath. This looks like a simple pose, but it isn't. Pretend like someone's pulling you on either side of your arms. So your arms are really fired up, your shoulders are down and maybe even behind you a little bit. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Bring your right elbow to your left thigh and reach up with your left hand. Feel this in your left side obliques. If you don't feel it in the left side obliques, bring the left hand even further behind you to create one big flat line on your left side body. If you're looking for more of an ab engagement, come off of that right elbow and just open up entirely here. The gentle yoga version of this is using the elbow, so I'm going to use the elbow. But so many beautiful options here. My right thigh is heating up, so let's get off of it soon, huh? Inhale, tick-tock your arms up to stand to reverse warrior. Bring your right arm up nice and tall. Hold it here. Feel the opposite side stretch in your right side this time. Again, reach up first rather than the back. You really just want to engage the core enough so you get this right side oblique stretch. Inhale. Exhale, slowly windmill your arms down, framing out that foot again. Press back into high plank, and then slowly lower yourself down onto your mat. This time toes to touch, preparing for cobra pose. Peel your upper body off the ground, cobra. Again, engaging your glutes. Whole upper body off the ground. Again, you're pushing away from the heels of your hand to really open up into your core, finding this beautiful back bend. Now let's hold it here for a few seconds. Who knew gentle yoga could be so sweaty? I'm sweating a little bit, but it all feels really good. So little sweat doesn't hurt anybody. Let's stay here for a few more breaths. Can you push up even further, engage your glutes even more? I feel this amazing stretch in my left hip right now. And then slowly, like a wave, lower your lower body down, then your middle body, then your upper body. And meet me in a downward facing dog. However you want to get there is good for me. And reset. Again, to feel out your downward facing dog. Every single time you're in a down dog, it should feel different than the first one. Preparing for the opposite side here. Inhale, the left toes nice and tall and high. Exhale, knee to nose, step your left foot through. Bring your right knee to the mat, uncurl the toes. Inhale up to crescent lunge. You've been here before. Let's set it up again. Shoulders down, triceps in. When I say shoulders down, triceps in, that means my pinkies are fired up towards one another, so my arms are engaged. In every single yoga posture, every single part of your body is engaged. So I'm bringing my left thigh in towards my core, which brings my right hip forward, engaging my core so my shoulders are over my hips. Beautiful. If you want a longer stance, bring your toes, your front toes, a little more forward to get a little more in your right hip. Deep breaths here. Slowing down our heart rate. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold over your left leg, half splits. Peel the left toes off the ground, flex the foot. Again, keeping a flat spine here, maybe bringing a prop. You just want to hinge from the hips. You don't want to avoid rounding forward. You can round forward, but that's not what I'm calling for in this class. This is just about the left side hamstring stretch, keeping a flat spine. Breathing deeply into it, giving our left leg as much love as we gave the right. In these quieter moments of class, maybe you close your eyes, maybe you come back to an intention for your practice. We're all here for different reasons. Connect back to it. It's so easy to get lost in the motions or whatever. We really want to make our movements intentional with purpose. Sink a little lower here now that you're a little more open. Slowly rebend into the right leg. Reach your arms up for kneeling crescent. Inhale as you rise. Exhale back down into half splits, using your arms as these beautiful little rainbow movers. Inhale up, exhale down. Pretend like you're painting the sky with your arms as you go back and forth in between half splits and kneeling crescent. Mobility is really fun, but option to just stay in one of these poses or another if that feels a little better for you today. Same options on the right knee. If it's getting too much, come onto a blanket, a pillow, curl your mat over. Just bring some calm into each of these movements. If you're feeling overheated, option to take open mouth breaths here. Exhales. You always inhale through your nose, but exhaling through your mouth releases some energy rather than retains it. We'll take a few more here. And when you're ready, meet me in kneeling crescent. Reset your spine. Inhale. Exhale, drop your left arm down this time and reach up with your right, then to the left for a side bend. Nice. You guys look great. So good to see so many people today. Thanks for coming out too. I know it's daylight savings time, so this is more like a 10 o'clock yoga than 11. So I appreciate you guys showing up. Nice. Take one more inch here. Beautiful side bend. And then slowly bring your right arm down to the mat, reaching your left arm high for simple twist. Again, this is simple, but you should feel a beautiful sensation in your left side chest, in your spine. If you're looking for a thigh stretch, begin to bend into the right knee and grab for the right foot with your left hand. Keeping the twist though, shoulder over shoulder. And hold it. Bring your left knee further right. Mine was splaying out to the left. Make sure it's still in line with your right or your left ankle. We don't spend a lot of time stretching out our thighs in yoga, so I thought we needed a little bit of this. Sink a little deeper here with your hips. Yes, you can. Again, if anything feels too weird, if the knee feels too bad, make adjustments. This is your practice more than anyone's. If you took the hand to foot grip, slowly release it back down. Bring your arm up to neutral twist. And then plant your left hand down to the inside of your left foot. Toe heel your left foot to the top left corner of your mat. So you create an obtuse angle with that left leg. Knee is behind ankle. Same options go here for lizard's pose. If you're a little more flexible, you can come down onto both elbows. If your wrists are starting to hurt, come onto your fists. I'm going to stay nice, tall, and proud here today because that's what my body is calling for. It's really hard to, but I encourage you to bring no judgments to your practice today. So if this side feels a little different than the right side, that's exactly how your body works. Nothing is wrong or bad about that. Just take any movements that feel really good for you today. So the intention here is to feel good, to feel lighter and looser. It's not to nail every posture or make sure you're completely even. Maybe play around with that left knee, see what it feels like to bring the left knee closer to the left tricep, maybe splay it out closer to the ground. And then when you're ready, come up onto your hands if you weren't there already. Slowly curl, toe heel your foot to the back to the center of your mat. So you frame out your leg with your hands. Curl your right toes up and lift your right knee up. So we're in crescent now. Same thing goes here. Engaging the core. This is a lot for our inner thighs. I totally acknowledge that. So option to come down onto your right knee at any point. But the goal here is to push the right hip forward. So we're tying everything in our lower body in. So push the right hip forward, left thigh back off the knee. Engage the core, shoulders over hips, sit even deeper, shoulders down the back, triceps in, pinkies in. If you're looking for a more active back leg, make the stance a little wider, push forward from your toes. So you add a little more to your left thigh. Option to keep the right knee bent, whatever feels good for you today. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, open up to warrior two. TL your arms to the right side of your mat this time. Bring your right heel down in line with the short edge of your mat. Keep the 90-degree bend in your left leg this time. Shoulders down. Feel like someone's pulling you on either side of your hands, shoulders over hips. Engage the core. Everything is fired up here. There's so many different movements in one posture. Gaze over your front fingertips. Feel tall, like you are a warrior. It's called Warrior 2 for a reason. So get nice and strong. Beautiful. One more breath. Then hinge forward, pretend like someone's pulling you to the front side of the wall, and then extended side angle. Bring your left elbow down onto left knee, reach up with the right hand. If you're looking for more of a right side stretch, reach in front of you, hand overhead. If you're looking for more core engagement, come off of that left elbow and work that left arm to open up into the side wall, pressing your thigh into your elbow and your elbow into your thigh. So many gorgeous options here. I'm going to stay on my elbow because that is the gentle yoga version of this posture. Keep that 90-degree bend in your left leg. This is hard stuff, guys. I acknowledge it. I am sweating alongside with you. It's gentle, sweaty yoga. I don't know if that's a oxymoron. Okay. Slowly, tick-tock all the way up, bringing your right arm behind you, lifting your left arm up into reverse warrior. Catch this little back bend here with the left side obliques firing up this time. Again, you want to reach up first, then back, not just dumping yourself back behind you. Get nice and tall. Sit a little deeper here. Yes, you can. One or two more breaths. Here we go. Get a little taller, and then slowly windmill your arms down, planting them over your left foot. Bring your left foot down behind you into high plank. Let's try upward facing dog this time. So bend your elbows and scoop yourself up into upward facing dog. Bring your arms to a straight, no bend in your arms. Chest between your shoulders. Shine your chest forward. Maybe look up. Engage your glutes. My knees, my thighs, they're off of the ground. This whole thing, my whole legs are fired up. Inhale here, get nice, tall, and proud. Biggest back bend yet. Exhale, flip the toes under. Downward facing dog, the last one of class. Actually, that's a total lie. It's the second last one of class. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, step the knee forward to pigeon pose. Right knee comes to where right wrist is. Come off of the left leg, uncurl the left toes. Maybe bring the right ankle forward so it's in a kind of 45-degree angle here. And then melt on top of that right leg. Feeling this in your right side glute. And breathing deeply into it. It's a really intense pose. Pigeon pose always brings up tons of emotions for me. I feel really vulnerable. Oh, so just acknowledge that. There are many different versions of pigeon too. If kneeling down or resting on top of the leg doesn't feel good for you, you can always stay up nice, tall, and proud here. I often like this version because it gets my left hip as well as my right glute. Again, if you're looking for an additional thigh stretch, prepare for mermaid, kick into the left leg, wrap around, reach behind you with the right hand, and add the thigh stretch. If this feels horrible for you, just skip it. Again, I couldn't even reach my foot until like 2 years of yoga, and I still can't bring my foot all the way to my butt. So just have fun with it. I think that's the goal of all these classes. No judgment. Every single body is a little different, so just enjoy it. Beautiful. If you took the mermaid, slowly release the foot hand grip. Plant the hands back and just switch it out. Left knee down this time, pigeon pose on the left side. Work that left ankle forward so it's at least in a 45-degree angle, or roughly a 45-degree angle, and melt down onto the left side leg. So we are in the surrender portion of class, so begin to maybe shut your eyes or at least find a light gaze. We're beginning to power off now. We're holding postures for a little longer. No more big mobility poses. Same options on this side. Option to keep sleeping your pigeon, option to come up into a nice seated pigeon to get that right hip addition. If you're looking for the right thigh addition, plant your left hand down and reach back for the right foot with your right hand and slowly bend into the elbows to bring the foot closer to the butt. Whenever there's a hand to foot piece in yoga, I often like to give myself a little foot massage with my thumb. I store a lot of tension in various parts of my feet. Feet also don't get a lot of love. Wrists and feet are probably the least loved parts of our yoga practice, so it's nice to give it some attention. A few more breaths here. If you took the hand to foot grip, slowly release it. If you were sleeping your pigeon, come back onto both palms and just have a seat here. Bring your arms or your legs around, bring them close to your chest, and using your last bit of core strength, slowly lower down your upper body down to the ground. Nice. Make sure you can tickle your heels with your toes. Inhale up to bridge pose. Bring your hips in line with your knees. Pretend there's like a block in between your thighs so they're parallel to one another. They're not touching. Engage your glutes. Push up from your feet, the heels of your feet, to really send those hips nice and high. This is almost like a back bend, not really, but similar movements. And then slowly lower your hips back down to the ground. Hug both knees in for a quick spinal reset. Extend the right leg long, preparing for supine twist to the right. Using your right hand to grab the left knee. Slowly guide that leg to the right side of your mat, keeping the left shoulder on the ground. Your lower back may crack here. So this isn't about can my knee reach the mat, but rather is my spine twisting in a really beautiful way? Is my left shoulder on the ground? Those are the two staples of this pose. This is really easy for you. You can shimmy your right hip further back behind you for an even deeper twist. One inch here. And slowly come back to center. Left hip meets mat again. Hug both knees in for a quick reset. Extend the left leg long this time, using the left arm to guide the right knee to the left side body, planting that right shoulder in the mat. Again, feel a beautiful release in your lower spine here. Definitely close your eyes. We're just here for a few breaths. Nice. One more inch. And just slowly come back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Happy baby, the last moving posture of class. Grab for the inner, I prefer the outer sides of my feet. Bring your knees into your armpits, keeping your lower back on the ground. Rock and roll left and right, really massaging out the spine, maybe straightening out one leg or the other, getting nice and big. Have fun, pretend like you're a little baby in a crib, just fooling around, feeling good and happy for this Sunday morning. And then when you're ready, release the hand to foot grip, wrap your arms around your shins, hugging your knees into your chest. Make your forehead touch your knees. Inhale all together here. Get nice and tight. And then open mouth, exhale, Shavasana, extend the legs long, the arms long, take up space. Shimmy the shoulders underneath the heart to give it a nice, beautiful cushion. You made it. This is the end of your gentle yoga practice. So just sink into the mat. Acknowledge that you just spent 45 minutes caring for your body, for your soul. You're a little more balanced now, a little more flexible, a little stronger. I hope you leave this class feeling a little lighter than from when you began. You're welcome to stay in this posture for as long as you like. This is your time to meditate, to ruminate in all of the work you just put in. But if you would like to seal class off with me, slowly bend your knees and rock gently forward into crisscross applesauce seated pose at the front of your mat with your eyes closed. Bring your hands to your knees, sit up nice and tall. Just take in the energy of the room a little bit here. Bring your hands to heart center in a prayer pose. Then bring your thumbs to the third eye center, the space between your eyebrows, your seat of intuition. Namaste means the light, the love, and the teacher in me honors and loves the light, the love, and the teacher in every single one of you. We bow forward and we say,